I have with me some peppers for beginners. We're going to be going over different ways you can use these peppers to help build your heat strength. And stay tuned to the end. I got a special surprise and one of my personal favorite peppers that I'm going to share with you. And this one here is a fairly big banana pepper. You know, they range from anywhere from 0 to 500 Scoville heat units. And when I first started out, even as a young lad, you know, getting your subs and different things like that, I would always get banana peppers on my sub. Let's just cut it right down the middle. See how she's looking. But this is a great starter pepper that you can use. Look at that. Look at the inside of that. Has a beautiful, it smells delicious too, guys. So let's go. We're just gonna eat the whole thing, but that's how the inside looks. 0 to 500 Scoville heat units. Great tasting pepper. You can get them in yellow, orange, red. And just like the bell peppers, you know, as they're changing colors, the flavors may vary depending on the color you're after. Great flavorful pepper you can use for cooking. Sweet. I'm not getting no floridity. It's just I'm getting a nice touch of sweetness. Maybe a touch of tang, a little bit of tanginess there too. It is kind of a thicker walled pepper. So you could make poppers with these. But that's a great tasting pepper. Wow. Next, which leads me into my second pepper. When you talk poppers, the jalapeno. Let's go. Another great starter pepper. I believe this one's from 2,500 to 8,000 Scoville heat units. My personal take on jalapenos, you know, I don't eat a lot of fresh ones. That's just me. I don't eat a lot of fresh ones, guys. But they are a great cooking pepper, like to make jalapeno poppers. And I'll tell you, I have had some fresh jalapenos like in competitions and stuff that were, they were really hot. I think the one I had from Herpberry, a heat wave, it woke up the palate in a hurry. Jalapenos. Let's go. I think I kind of miscut the center a bit here. All the seeds will be on this side. But we're gonna go. But the jalapeno I find sometimes can be too thick walled, which is why I don't eat a lot of them. I think it's better to cut it up, use them as poppers, or cut up and use in a salsa, or maybe all over nachos, loaded nachos. Yeah, see? Really crunchy, very thick walled. It does have good flavor. This is from Walmart, this jalapeno. It does have good flavor. I'd say it's like, I get like a touch of earthy tones, but it's more like a green pepper, like just your regular green bell pepper with it that's spicy. Again, I just don't like how thick-walled the jalapeno is. There we go. That's another great starter pepper for you guys. Okay, everybody, so my next beginner pepper is the cayenne. And if you look, it has a nice, beautiful taper profile that runs the whole length of the pepper. It ranges from 30,000 to 50,000 Scoville heat units. It's also used in a lot of cooking applications and in a lot of hot sauces for good reason. It does pack some heat. And you know, it's also primarily dried and sold as a powder. And when I was a younger feller, you know, I was buying the powder, trying to stimulate blood flow to the scalp and stop thinning hair. It didn't work. But what will work is it will help build your heat strength. So, without further delay, got my knife. You know, I believe they are pretty loaded in seeds. I've had fresh cayennes before, but not for a while. But I believe it's packed with seeds the whole length of the way down. I'm going to try to cut it open without cutting my fingers apart here, just to give you guys a little bird's eye view. But yeah, she's loaded, guys, so you can kind of see a lot of seeds. A lot of seeds. Okay, so let's go. 30 to 50,000 Scoville heat units. Maybe a touch of floralness there, but overall great tasting. Maybe a touch of fruitiness there too. But that's a great, great beginner pod pepper that you guys can all go and try. And you can probably easily find cayennes in a lot of places. And if you can't, you can easily buy the cayenne powder. Just don't try to use it for regrowing hair. And last but not least, guys, I want to show you one of my personal favorite pods that I think you're going to love. The Scotch bonnet originates in the Amazon basin. It's also known as Bonnie peppers, and it gets its name derived from the Scottish bonnet hats over in Scotland there that they all wear. And I kind of can see how it does have a similar shape to the Scotch bonnets. And yeah, very cool. But this has a heat rating of 100 to 350,000 Scovilles. So it is probably a great beginner pepper for beginners, but it's also one of my favorite applications for a heat source in any kind of hot sauce usually, and cooking applications. And there's a reason why so many hot sauce makers use the Scotch bonnet. It's usually full of flavor with a nice touch of heat or punch of heat. And let's just open it up and see what we got on the inside. I'm excited to try this. Let's pluck the stem off. Okay. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. I got to cut some of the stem out here, guys. Hold on. These are freshly picked from dies. Excited to try. I love Scotch bonnets. I don't know if you would call it a cousin to the habanero, but it's very similar in heat. But I think for me personally, I know everyone says about the habaneros and, you know, go buy habaneros, but I'll tell you, if you can get your hands on Scotch bonnets, it's a better tasting pepper than a habanero. I think a habanero has a bit more of a sting, but for a beginner pepper, this is a great pepper for you to go to the grocery store, and if you can find them there, buy them. So there you go. Let's go. Let's see how it tastes. Let's go half and half. You know, it is a bit fruity, a little bit of sweetness there. And it does have nice heat already. You know, so many times people see me eating the extreme peppers and, you know, dry heaving, choking and gagging and blah, blah, blah. But I love a Scotch bonnet, even habaneros I love. I love the fruity sting. I don't know if the Scotch bonnet is as hot as a habanero is. To me, I think it's just a little duller. but I think the flavor is more on point for me. Okay, everybody, so that was 4 easy beginner peppers that you can use to help build your heat strength to a higher elevation. You know, you can find them in a lot of your grocery stores or your neighborhood bulk barn. The yellow 7-pot, guys. Look at that. Just a great pod. Again, for cooking, for so many applications. Let's go half and half. A little floral. Get a touch of floral on this one too. Just a little bit, but whip fluidity. Whip fluidity is a great sign of heat. Very hot. Also getting maybe a touch of, I don't know if it's fruitiness or citrus notes there. But these are great pods, guys. Something you can build up comfortably with and not end up hurting yourself or cramping your stomach up. Like, to me, all them pods tasted fantastic from Di. She's known for like growing flavor and fire. Guys, that's 5 beginner pods you guys can use to help build your heat strength up. And like I said, it can be a great way just for you to build it up and then enjoy flavors within hot sauces that normally you may not experience if you didn't have that elevated heat strength. Or if you want to go into competitions, they could be 5 peppers that could easily ramp and build it up for you and get you into them higher elevated peppers with capsaicin. Guys, that's gonna do it for me. That yellow 7-pot was hot. Woo. Got a nice burn going from after eating all them peppers. But anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for me. Cheers, everybody.